Welcome to part 2 of our Singapore adventure. Here's what you can expect from our day 3 and 4 vlog. We explored Singapore Botanic Gardens, Orchid Gardens, Long Bar at Raffles Hotel where we got a Singapore sling, the Marina Bay Sands Sky Bar, the Jewel Waterfall at Changi Airport and much more. Please check out part 1 if you haven't already, as we did so much on days 1 and 2 as well. Good morning. We got up this morning and now we're on the bus heading to Botanic Gardens, which I think is a big sort of open plan natural gardens. It looks like there's loads of flowers and lots of little like sculptures and things to see, so we're gonna have a little mooch around there, try and find some food as well and then go from there.
Good morning! So we have made it to our first stop of the day, which is the Botanic Gardens in Singapore. It's more inland, it's the opposite way to kind of Marina Bay, so that's quite nice. We thought we'd explore this side. It is also free and it is a World Heritage Site, so it originally spanned over 26 hectares and 6 of those were rainforest, but those 6 still remain today. It doesn't actually say how big it still is, but it looks still pretty big. So first of all we're going to go and find ourselves a bite to eat because we haven't eaten yet, and then we're going to go and explore.
It's quite nice to be away from sort of the hustle and bustle of the city centre, and you can't really hear too much traffic or anything like that, just sort of little faint wildlife noises.
This place kind of reminds me of somewhere you would see in like film Avatar. Some of the stuff I've never seen, like trees, kind of like it. Pretty cool. Very interesting. I think this is a must do if you're in Singapore, especially as it's free. It's great. Can't really see it. There's a snake. It's only a little one. Okay, so upon spotting said snake, we then just bumped into somebody who works here at the visitor centre. And we said, oh, there's a little snake there. And he said, oh, okay, show me. Oh, that one's not poisonous. Oh, okay, there's poisonous ones in here, is there? Yeah, there's the black cobra in here. And we were like, right, okay. That's fantastic news. Just what I want to hear with my fear of snakes. Lovely. Continuing our walk around the gardens, looking at some of the fantastic architecture, trying to capture some butterflies on the GoPro, and then head into the Orchid Gardens. You do have to pay to enter the Orchid Garden itself. It's currently $15 for an adult. We're going to go and take a walk around now. It looks very beautiful, so I think it's worth it. Let's head on in. So we got.
After walking around for about 5-10 minutes, you will come across a certain point where they've actually named orchards after certain very influential people within the world. Of course, Nelson Mandela, we've got Queen Elizabeth coming across, then we've got Princess Diana as well. So some really well established and well known influential people within the world.
So an interesting fact that we've just read, an orchid, they have over 28,000 species and the only continent they don't grow on is Antarctica.
Just come across these absolutely gigantic orchids. I mean, look at the size of them. Look at the size of the palm of my hand. They're beautiful.
A walk around the cool room, actually very refreshing considering the humidity on this particular day in Singapore. We got to look at some of these beautiful flowers. Me and Em made a wish in the wishing well, couple of dollars in there before taking a beautiful stroll back towards the exit, where we then got a bus back to our accommodation for a quick freshen up before we head out.
Alright, so we came back from those beautiful gardens, we had a little shower, freshened up, and now we are headed and have arrived at the Raffles Hotel. We're here to try the famous Singapore sling and also eat some peanuts and throw the shells on the floor, because apparently that's a normal thing to do here. So, waiting for the elevator. Level 2. So when you arrive, you are headed for the Long Bar. So let's go and explore it.
We arrived at the Long Bar in Raffles at about 5:30. There was probably maybe 6 to 8 people in front of us. We waited about 10 to 15 minutes. We were quite lucky, but I would say get there a little bit earlier. The queues were forming when we arrived.
So the original Singapore sling, it is $39 plus 18%, so 10% tax, 8% surcharge for the staff. Absolutely fine. Let's give it a go. Let's see what all the hype's about.
So you get a big old bag of monkey nuts when you come here, and I think they're just free as long as you kind of get a drink or whatever. But what's really funny about this concept is when you obviously got your leftover nuts, you just I've never seen a concept like this before, but I assume it's some kind of tradition.
One of our biggest highlights, we actually got to make and mix the Singapore slings in Raffles.
Okay, so we've received the Singapore sling. Both really excited. Em's going to give it a go to start.
It's got a bit of tang to it. Quite citrusy.
That'll be the
It's
line.
nice though. It's really nice.
It's actually really tasty. Okay, so to put that into pricing perspective, that was $46.33, which works out to about £29 for a singular drink. But it is an experience, it had to be done. Marina Bay Sands, here we come for some rooftop. Hopefully we'll see the sunset here as well. That'd be really nice.
Yeah. Cool. Here we are at the bus stop. Okay, so we just got our 2 redeemable tickets for food and drink for the C'est La Vie Sky Bar.
So you actually buy the ticket for $30 and then you redeem that back at the bar, and then of course if you spend over that you have to pay for it.
To make the difference,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, up we go. Oh my god, it's
I can't even explain. You know you're high up right about now. Alright, so drink secured. We got an Asahi and another Singapore sling.
good.
And it was about $53 for the pair of them. So it's heavy up here, obviously. Singapore's
Once
expensive.
in Singapore, you've got to do it, I suppose.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we did.
I also nearly just dropped that $25 Asahi on the floor.
We've been up here about 20 minutes, half an hour now, just sipping on our drinks, trying to make it last as long as possible, to be honest. And the view is absolutely incredible, like, no denying that. You know, you genuinely do get like a 360 panoramic view of the city, but our honest opinion of the bar, a little bit overrated, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's so busy. We've managed to find a little quiet corner. Well, I say quiet, it's, you know, you can probably barely hear me, but they've crammed a lot of people up here. There's not one, you know, spare seat or anything like that, so we're stood up, and it's quite chaotic and loud. So,
Massively overrated.
yeah.
So after about 30 to 45 minutes, we did manage to get ourselves a seat. We don't regret coming up, but we probably wouldn't come back up here again, purely because it was just so hectic.
Alright, so we have left Marina Bay Sands, rooftop bar, and now we are back at Pate. We've tried a bit here, but I think the one thing we haven't tried is chicken rice. So let's see if we can find some chicken rice. We've got garlic chili, and then garlic ginger, chicken broth, the chicken itself of course boiled, and then the rice itself is one of the masterpieces of the dish because it's boiled in the chicken broth. So let's give it a go. It's really good. The chicken's super tender, it's like buttery. But I think the rice personally is probably my favourite part of the dish.
Chicken's really tender. It's nice though.
Good morning. So So we are leaving Singapore today. We're heading to Terminal 1 because that's where our scoot flight is from. But before that, we need to return our Singapore tourist cards. We actually get $10 per card back, so $24 for 3 days. We actually pay $34 and get the 10 back once you return the card.
Tourist pass is returned. We've now headed over to Terminal 1 where the jewel is. We're now going to go and explore this famous waterfall, and it did not disappoint.
Look at this. We're both just saying that this inside of an airport, a little sky train running right next door, absolutely insane.
Head on down to the lower levels where the food court and shopping centre is. You can see this magnificent part of the waterfall as well. It really is worth giving yourself a couple of hours to just go and explore. You have got a drop off bag early section which is really useful, worth checking out.
After we'd finished exploring, we headed to our departure gate where we were heading to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. We're really excited for this next leg of our journey and we'll see you there.